Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. On this week's episode, we make our final stop in Victoria. So why don't you go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up the next 20 minutes or so, come and join us for the adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Well, we left our camp down at the riverside there in Warrnambool this morning. That was a great camp, wasn't it?
It was actually, yes. I really enjoyed my time down at the caravan park.
Yeah, caravan park. And it was a great place. Just talking when we were leaving, it's one of those spots where you could go and you could spend a great holiday there with family or friends, you know, over a Christmas period or Easter or something like that. But I think you need to book real early because there's so many facilities there. You don't even need to leave the park, do you?
No, while we were there, so they had a group of people come in and catch up, and they had a good old catch up. I think it was someone's birthday they were celebrating, so it is a good place to stop and catch up with your family and friends.
It certainly is. But we've moved on to the township of Portland and we've come to the Henty Park RV camping area. Now this is a free camp and you'll find it just on the other side of town if you're coming from the east coast, or you'll find it just before you head into Portland if you're coming from South Australia. But it's a great place to come and stay, isn't it? It
is. It's a 48-hour free rest stop for RVs.
Yeah, it's good, and that's the point, RV. So they allow caravans and RV type campers to stay here, but you can't stay here in your car or your rooftop bar, and you can't stay here in a tent either. You need to be fully self-contained. And when they actually give a description on that, it says that you need to be able to capture all of your own grey water and all of your own black water, have your own shower facilities and all of those sorts of things. But there are some amenities here, so there's some toilets that you can use. There's also a dump point, which is very handy.
It is. It's got everything you need and the ability to get some water, I believe.
Yeah, there is access to fresh water when you come down here. There's also, if you have your dog on board, there's a RV or a park here where you can run your little dog around, or if you've got a big dog, you can run your big dog around. And it's been very, very popular this afternoon, hasn't it?
It's very popular with a lot of people, locals and travellers alike.
The RV park is located right behind the Portland Cable Trams depot, which is also a museum, and it's also the station for the tram that runs all around Portland. If you're familiar with the big red bus like you might find overseas or around some of the capital cities here in Australia, you pay a fee. I think it's about $24 for the day, and you can jump on and off the tram as much as you like. So if you're staying out at the free camp, you want to go and visit Portland, all you need to do is buy yourself a tram ticket, head into town, spend the day, and it'll bring you right back to where your van is. And finally, just on the other side of where the free camp is, you'll find an AFL field out here, so you can come out and run the kids around or kick a footy or do whatever you like. This is also the area where you're not allowed to camp if you come here. So we're just taking a drive into town from the free camp. You're only about, 2 minutes out of town now?
If that.
We're going to go for a bit of a walk around town. We're going to start here at the information centre, and there's also a pier here that you can drive your car out onto and fish. It goes for well over a kilometre, I reckon.
It does. It's quite a large pier, and I thought it was a bit unusual that you can drive out onto it, because normally it's just foot traffic.
Definitely, and you'll see here in the footage, the last thing I expected today was to get in a traffic jam on a pier in southwestern Victoria. But beautiful place. We're going to go out, we'll have a look around the bay, and we'll also go drop in and see the information centre people. So we've come into the Portland Information Centre, and they also have the Maritime Museum here, which at the moment, because it's undergoing some renovation, is free. So we'll take you a bit of a look around. Check out the size of this great white shark. It's a replica of the biggest one ever caught down here, 5.7 metres long. I'm not sure what that is in feet, and it weighed 2 tonnes. They caught it in 1982, but let me tell you, it is absolutely monstrous. One of the things I really struggled with when I was in the army was tying a reef nut, but they've got an instruction here to do it. They also give you a bit of rope to give it a crack. So I'm going to give it a try. Over, under, over, and then with the two, I want to say running ends. Now I've tied this off and I'm not. I'm still struggling with it today, but I'll work it out in a second. Under and around. So it ends up like that, which you will not be able to see on the video. And then I just bring the two ends around. So end, over the end, and then bring them up and through. And screwed it up again. You're not going to believe this. Before we started filming, I'd done it the first time with no drums whatsoever. So just going for a bit of a walk around the streets of Portland. It's your typical town, I suppose, on a Saturday afternoon. There's not too many people around, just a few shops that are still open at the end of the day, but it's a nice place, plenty of old buildings and heaps of history in the town, particularly from the old whaling days and things, isn't there, Al?
There is, yes. It's quite interesting to go for a walk.
It certainly is, but it has all the main services here, so you know it's got all the big supermarkets and petrol stations and all the things that you need when you're on the road. But yeah, nice place to visit, and the free camp's a nice place to stay. So this is the lighthouse at Point Nelson. It's a beautiful spot to come and see, and you get such a great view out over the ocean. And you can see as you come around from the lighthouse, all of the old buildings that are still here. This building that's just here in front of us, there are the cottages. You can actually book and stay in those if you want to do that. It's a little windy outside, so we thought we'd come into the car to record this piece. But we've come to the Cape Nelson Lighthouse. It's a great place to come visit, isn't it?
It is interesting, yes.
It's obviously an old lighthouse. It was built here in the 1890s and obviously used as a lighthouse, but it had another use in the late 1800s, and that was to look out for potential Russian invaders when they believed that Russia was going to come down from the north and invade Australia. And we found that in a lot of places we've been around, haven't we?
Yeah, I think Thursday Island, they also mentioned the fact that they were on the defence from the Reds.
They certainly were, but it's a beautiful place to come and see, and some great views of the coastline when you get up here. There's also the wreck of the Isabella, which you can't see obviously because it was wrecked over 100 years ago, but there's plenty of information on that at the Maritime Museum that we went to earlier today, wasn't there?
There was, yes.
That was really good. And the other thing you can do when you come up here is you can stay here. So they have some cottages, the Lighthouse Keeper's Cottage, and there's a couple of other cottages. And there's some information here, and I'll just cut in a picture of the board where you can go ahead and you can book to stay up here for a very unique experience, particularly in whale season, because the view out across the ocean here is fantastic.
Yes, that's what I thought was quite good. So wintertime, I think it's the humpback whales, and in the summertime it's the blue?
No, the southern right whales.
No.
Anyway, we'll work out which whale it was.
They're winter whales as well, but in the summer they have different type of whales. I thought it was blue something whales.
No, it could have been. Alison does read a lot more signs than I do. But having said that, it'd be a great place to come and see that and just spend a night or two in a very unique place.
Yeah, it would be good.
Yeah, all right. Let's get back. I want to show you a very interesting orange dog. If you've been driving around southwest Victoria over the last couple of months, you might have seen some of these orange dogs hanging around on fences and people's yards and front doors and all over the place. And we saw so many of them, we just had to ask in the end, what are the orange dogs all about? And it was for a bloody political campaign. I would never have known this, but apparently one of the local members down here stuck them up all over the place before the federal election so that they could get a bit of a conversation started. But it's an independent down here now. I have no idea what his politics are, and I don't really bloody care. But what I am impressed about is it started a conversation because everybody's talking about the bloody orange dogs down here. Well, we're out and about for the morning. I've got to say the weather has turned. It's bloody cold, isn't it, Al?
It is cool.
And we are still dressed for summer, but that doesn't matter. We've come out to Cape Bridgewater this morning. We're going to go and check out the Petrified Forest. Not quite sure what that is. Then we're going to check out the blowholes. So this is it, the Petrified Forest. It was once believed that they were petrified trees where the sand had actually engulfed an ancient forest, but they have proved that that was wrong, but it was a fanciful thought anyway. But yeah, they're limestone tubes. It's fascinating to see. What do you think about the Petrified Forest, Al?
It's quite interesting, actually. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before.
No, I certainly haven't. The whole landscape when you come up here to the top of the cliffs is just something completely alien to anything we've seen before, isn't it?
It is. It's very interesting. It's quite enjoyable to go for a walk along the boardwalk through and just look at the different parts of, I guess, the environment, look out to sea, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. And just watching some of these waves crashing into the rocks down here, absolutely amazing. The size of them, they're absolutely huge, aren't they?
It's quite mesmerising.
I don't surf, but it might be time to get the boogie board out. Who knows?
Bit dangerous.
Very dangerous. The other thing that you'll see when you come up here is this is the track that's also part of the Great Coastal Walk, and we've seen this right back into Warrnambool and all over the place, so it's quite an extensive hike. But yeah, you get some beautiful scenes. Check this out. The size of the waves. Some of these waves that are hitting the rocks below us are absolutely huge. It's unbelievable. I'd like to see it on a rough day, but you can see just out here in front of us the weather's starting to close in, so we might head back down towards the car or the blowholes, depending on what hits us first, the rain or the blowholes themselves. All right, it's very windy. The other attraction you get here is the blowholes, and I can see them already. They are spectacular. Wait till you see this. Well, the wind's absolutely howling here. I think we might be here slightly on the wrong tide for the blowholes, but to watch some of these waves smash into the rocks below here, it's absolutely amazing. You should see how some of this water goes there. Like we're a good 50 metres back from the water and slowly getting drenched from the spray from the sea. Check out the size of this wave that's coming on the rocks now. It's absolutely huge. It's going to smash into them. Oh, that's unbelievable. How good's that? And just one last fact about the blowholes. If you decide you want to come out here, try and reserve your trip for the months between November and April. It's when the winds blow a lot of the krill onto the shore and it stirs up a lot of food, and the place comes alive with dolphins and whales, penguins, seals, and a lot of bird life, of course. That'd be spectacular to see. Unfortunately for us, we're here towards the latter part of April, and I think everything's moved on, but it's still a great place to come and see. So it was our visit out here to the Petrified Forest and the blowholes. It was pretty good, wasn't it?
I quite enjoyed myself. Yeah, it was really good to come out and see.
Yeah, extremely windy today, but yeah, I think you'd probably get that here most days too, because it's coming straight off the ocean, but it's a spectacular place to come and see. And when the sun lights up the ocean, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it gives a whole different look. It's quite, I keep saying mesmerising, but it is mesmerising.
It certainly is. So from here, we're going to go for a drive back into Bridgewater, the township, and we'll show a little bit of footage or a bit of a look around there while we're down there, and then we're going to go out and check out some caves, aren't we?
Sounds good.
All right, let's get going. We just arrived at the caves. They're a short drive away from where we were at the blowholes. We didn't stop in at Bridgewater because it's just a bit of an awful day, isn't it?
Yes, it's just a quaint little town. There's not a lot to see there. Beautiful beach.
Yeah, it's a huge beach and the waves rolling in were pretty good. But it's, yeah, just a nice place to drive through, I suppose. There's a couple of cafes there and a couple of eco-type resorts. It might be a good place to come and, you know, just spend a couple of days and just get away from it all. But we come out to the cave, and the last thing we expected, because we saw no one coming out here, but the car park's full. So there's quite a few people here. I'm going to go over and check it out.
Oh, no, because
This is the cave. I've got to say, it's a little bit more than an overhang than a cave. It's a short, steep walk to get up in here. But once you do get up here, it's a great view. Check this out. So we left Portland. Great camp, wasn't it, Al?
It was a very good camp, actually. Great place to base yourself.
It certainly was, and so close to town and all the things that are around you. Great place to stop, particularly if you're on your way into South Australia or your way back round to Victoria. We've just come into South Australia. I think we crossed the border maybe a kilometre ago, and we've come to a quarantine bin, which is quite important, isn't it?
It is very important in South Australia, yes.
They have restrictions on the things that you can bring in as far as fruit and vegetables and all that sort of stuff goes. They've got a fantastic guide on their site. Just Google search what vegetables can I take into South Australia. You'll see a government site pop up. It tells you or asks you what state you're entering from, be it Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland or Western Australia and the Northern Territory, and then it tells you what you can and cannot bring from those states. And then as you come across the border, you'll find areas just like this one where there's a quarantine bin you can drop your gear. But what we did here is that these are your first and last warnings as you go through. So if they do pull you over and catch you with fruit, there's no excuse. They've given you plenty of opportunity to get rid of it before you got to where the border check is, if they've got it set up for the day, and they do issue an on-the-spot fine, which from what I understand is quite expensive, isn't it?
Yes, I think someone said like $4.71 or $4.91, but it's probably even higher than that. So it always pays to check.
Yes, so safest thing to do is just make sure you offload all the things that you can't take in with you. What we did was run our groceries down, and we're due to shop again right now. So we're going to head up to Mount Gambier, and that's going to be where we go and shop again and replenish all of our fruit and veg supplies. But I think it's a great note to end this week's episode on, because we don't reveal too much of South Australia just yet, do we?
We haven't really got into South Australia.
Well, as I said, a kilometre in. Anyway, if you like today's episode, make sure you give us a like before you go. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you hit us up in the comment section. And of course, as usual, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so, because it really allows our channel to grow. But until next Saturday, 7 o'clock, you guys have yourselves a great week. We can't wait to see you. We'll see you then.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.